I'm going to call to order the May 15th Farmington High School Building Committee meeting at 5:02.
And I will call to order the Farmington Board of Education special meeting scheduled for May 15th, 2024, 5:03.
We have pledge in our agenda, so.
Yes.
Justice for all. Thank you, everybody. We are going to make a slight adjustment to our agenda on the building committee agenda. So right next is public comment. We're actually going to move that to after the tour. So I think we are all ready to move on to item D, which is tour of the building.
Okay, so I'm Nelson Reese, the project manager. I'm a resident. My kids go to school here, and I'm a graduate in 1994. 2 years away from Russ, 2 years after. There's no work taking place, but we still have a construction site. So hard hat, safety glasses. Hopefully everybody's got shoes, no open-toed shoes. I'll take you into areas that are safe, and you're not going to go through the entire building, but you're going to be able to see classroom space, public spaces. Show you the wooden auto shop. We'll go to the second floor. The third floor is similar to the second floor, and from the second floor you'll be able to actually see into the cafeteria, take you through the gymnasium, and timeline about 20 minutes, and then if you have any questions, just feel free to shout them out. I do want to keep everybody. We have all adults here. Okay. So just keep a tight group. It's usually the adults that I have to remind. We've had our O&G Builds program here. It's been a success. And we're going to restart it later once the demolition and abatement work is complete. And we're renovating the central office. We'll restart that program. But again, just keep it tight. And how many, by a show of hands, how many have not been here? Because I know a lot of you have. Oh, so good. And for those that have been in the building, there's a lot going on. So the finishes, things are going quick, and it's exciting. So let me
So why don't we- Yeah, during the fun. So we're gonna actually, thank you, everybody. Hope everybody enjoyed that. Pretty impressive. Thank you. For the floor announcement and just looks fantastic. So looking forward to the next one as well. So we'll move right on to, item C. We'll go back to, which is public comment. So we will open that up. I do not see anybody with us in person. I don't know if we have anybody virtually.
No one online.
No one online either, so we will move right on from public comment. Go right to item E, so can I have a motion to approve the attached April 17, 2024 minutes?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes. We will move right on to item F, correspondence received 4/16/2024 to 5/13/2024. So we did have one piece of correspondence that you see included. Anything on this one, Catherine?
We coordinated with the high school to kind of address this request for some memorial or donation in memory of this person. So we have reached out and spoken to the family, just, about the policy and how things are done. So.
Yeah, and I will be meeting with them very soon to talk about other possibilities in there. So they've been great, very understanding, and so yeah, we'll go from there.
I received one as well, separately that I communicated with as well. So that's only the thing I'm aware of. Okay, we'll go right on to item G, which is reports. G1, I have nothing specific for chair report tonight, so we'll move right on to town council liaison report.
Everyone probably knows our budget passed last grade. And that's really about it.
Any questions? Okay, all right, we'll go right on to 1928 building committee liaison report.
Thank you, Mike. We met last night and everything is going well. We're proceeding on schedule through value engineering and document drafting. Anticipate getting that wrapped up soon. And just to give you sort of a timeline for our project going forward, the anticipated bid schedule on renovation would be to advertise on bid in July. Bid opening first, second week of August, and review and award bids at the end of August. At last night's meeting, we broke out the site development piece of it for a separate bidding, and that's hopefully to work in coordination with the demolition of this project. So the two committees will hopefully work closely on that, and hopefully we get this site work done in conjunction with that to get some synergies and economies of scale in getting that completed. So that's it.
Any questions for us? And I missed, right? I missed Board of Education.
Okay.
Don't bring over it. Maybe I knew that. All right, we'll go right on to architect report.
So TSKP continues our CA services through submittal and archive reviews. We issue consultant and TSKP field reports. We are here, we observe the site, the construction every week almost, and we also issue proposal requests and architectural supplementary instruction, that's ASI. And what we currently review is building signage, which is the text that goes on the exit doors. So both on the glass and also the metal doors. We also reviewing the sample. We got a sample of the room identification signage. We're reviewing that. Later this week, we will be reviewing the central office samples for the horizontal doors and frames, the curtain wall, and also the flush roof doors for the central office. So that's what I have. Any questions? It's all moving.
Here it is. That's what we've done. Excellent. Any questions? I don't want to get one. All right, we'll go right into construction manager report.
I will be quick. Again, as far as the high school, I gave an update as far as where we're at. Here at central office renovations, I didn't touch on that, but we're coordinating for summer. Some of work in management, the utilities cap and make safe. Those dates are all confirmed. We have the gas company that actually show up tomorrow. And look at the meters, regulatory posting of the neighborhood, all of that. is a requirement that will happen, in the next week or so. 1928, we're and finalizing a proposal request that has been out there for a while. Proposal request number 45, which is mostly credits. Tennis court bids came in today. Bid opening was today at 2. It was a virtual opening. 3 bids were received. We've got some good numbers in. Laurel Purcell from our office is going to scope at least 2 of them. And next building committee meeting, which I believe is on the 19th of June, she'll present and recommend awarding to the lowest responsible bidder. O&G bills, I mentioned, we're complete for the season. It's been a complete success. We're going to restart once the abatement and demolition, we can't bring kids onto a job site with active demolition and abatement work. But we're going to restart once we're renovating the central office. We'll restart that program. And we're going to focus on the college careers and also the technical careers as well. We'll get drone shots here. Our drone person will be here mid-July. We want to get some shots of the mass demolition. But once that mass demolition takes place, we'll also take some high-level shots of the campus, the high school. And we'll take video shots of the inside, and we'll leave it to the school as far as what they want to disseminate. But again, there's going to be a lot of stuff that you can actually use for the start of school and getting kids oriented with the school even before they show up. We're looking for a old time capsule, so hopefully there's some good news in the near future as far as the old high school, and you'll probably encounter some time capsules in my case building as well. And contingency wise, we're in really good shape at this point in time. I'll let Russ report on those numbers. There are some PCOs for approval and application for opinion. Questions?
All right, we will move right on to project management contingency report. Russ.
Okay, as Nelson said, still doing really well with our money and contingency. One item that Kath remembered to add into our contingency was the $220,000 pre-detailing for the steel that we did ahead of time in order to get the steel up when it came on site. We didn't have to wait, or as it got ordered and purchased, we wouldn't have to wait for that 2 to 3 month time period to take place. So we did that ahead. So we added that, included that in the contingency. We had 8 change orders that we processed through the system this month. The first one was 104R. It was for the central office. There was a design change for the admin area, and that was for $60,000, $60,818. Meg, you want me just to throw them all and ask questions at the end? Or you want me?
Let's wait until we get to the actual, when we actually go through we'll do the invoices first and then the PCOs.
Okay. So you want me to just keep going and hold on?
Hold on for now on those.
But overall, we're doing very well. Continues. Still in very good shape. One thing we have pursued, we're getting pricing for the bleacher replacement. The numbers, the delegated design have come in. We're going to be nearly double the existing bleachers. So that'll be a big improvement for that whole area, which still will be well below our numbers. It's actually, at this stage in the game, we are doing very well. And I'm not going to use the term a lot of money. That too big last night. We're doing
Pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, if you remember, that was one thing that we started talking about was some change order that was a little bit beyond the original scope, which was the bleacher replacement. And so that's something that we're getting more information on. So remember, all we did was say, yes, so move forward and give us more information, please. And then that's going to come back to us for more detail and further discussion to decide what we do next. So no decision made on that, but we'll have a lot more information to do that.
That is eligible for a 15% grant.
Oh, good. Oh, that's
Instead
good
of
information
30%,
from a reimbursement.
it's eligible to get the 15% grant.
Okay. Great.
Good opportunity.
All right. Any questions for Russ? Anything else? All right, we'll move right on to owner's rep move manager report.
Continue to review the schedule for the project. Voicing any concerns and seeing where that lands. And right now, ONG feels confident that they're going to hit the dates. So there's no concern there on their end. Continue to punch list various areas. Done above ceiling in A, B, and C. Those have been passed on to ONG. D and E have done portions of them. Rest of it will be coming up within the next week. We've done punch listing below ceiling in all of A, which is A 1, 2, and 3, and B1. We have a meeting review tomorrow to review those areas with ONG and the entire team. As far as move management goes, Tanya is preparing for the move on June. June 12th, as well as getting geared up for moving the weight limit prior to that. And we have the first delivery of furniture scheduled for July 19th.
Questions for Chris on any of either of those topics? No? All right, we will move on to communications subcommittee report. We did have a subcommittee meeting just prior to our tour. Main topic of conversation was around the ribbon cutting ceremony. So we spent a lot of time talking about that and some additional communication. So you will see scattered around the table here, these kind of little, the big postcard, really what it is. But what we're talking about here is timing. We talked, I think last time I mentioned maybe an October date as kind of a placeholder for a community open house. As of right now, we think that is still going to stay intact, but really what we've switched our focus to is the ribbon cutting and another opportunity for open house and very controlled tours on the first floor of the building on Monday, August 26th, which is the day before school begins. So this was done for a lot of reasons. It gives us a little more flexibility, gets some more people on the grounds, keeps us away from some of the very busy things that are going to happen on the first day of school. So I think, right, Russ, from your perspective, this feels better for the school that we've taken some of that anxiety out of the first day, moved it to the day before, I guess is not, but that's a little bit better, but that's a little bit better. So what we're talking about is, in general, you'll get much more information on this, but you know, right now it's like a 5 to 8 time frame. 5 to 5:30 would actually be the ribbon cutting and kind of the ceremonial part of the process, people briefly speaking and then actually doing a ribbon cutting. And then we would open up the school for, as I said, a very controlled tour on the first floor only of the building for people to come and take a look at the school. Again, it would be limited, you know, we don't want people touring classrooms or those kind of things. Things are being set up. We don't want things being touched as you know, on the day before school inside the classrooms, but we thought this was a nice opportunity to make that a bigger event for the community. That will obviously be an opportunity for us to send out press releases. We hopefully will get some media attention that evening. And then we also talked about still keeping that October 5th date, I think it was October 5th, it was a Saturday, to open it up for additional opportunities for people to do if they couldn't make that evening event. And within that, there's also the opportunity for the open house for the actual high school families that's happening. So the normal part of that process, they will certainly be able to tour the school. So there's you know, a lot of opportunities, I think, for people to be able to get in there and take a look. So I think that was the majority of our conversation. The other piece to that, though, you want to talk a little bit more about what's on the back of this?
Yeah, so we're trying to maximize, if we're spending money on a postcard, we're gonna put as much information, relevant information as needed. So the other side kind of just tells people that this whole campus up top here is gonna be off limits to the public. So no going on the track or the upper fields or the walking paths, like you won't even be able to get up here from June 12th until probably the start of school. So just kind of sending that message out so everyone receives it, and also taking that opportunity to do a save the date for the ribbon cutting.
And then we're obviously placing newsletters appropriately, so we'll have a newsletter that will go post ribbon cutting back out to the community to say, to highlight the event and provide more pictures. We talked about potentially, what we most likely will record ribbon cutting. We can get that up on the website, so we're trying to get as much exposure to this as we can. Makes sense? Did I miss anything? Any other
Question
thing?
that relates not so much to communications, but a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Yeah.
Is TSKP doing any photography when things are done and FF&E is in? So is that something that you would be sharing the opportunity to use some of those?
Yeah, we're happy to do that. We cooperate with LNG. We like our photography also to have kids in this, so we work in the school administration in the fall, when the school's occupied here. That. Ours.
If you could round up a few of your.
Okay.
Yes, our, yeah. We can put it there. All right, any other questions on communications? No, we'll start, obviously slowing down, on communications. I can't say we're gonna stop, because there's certainly work that's going to continue once the school opens, so, it'll just be kind of a different focus. And, a lot more informative, I think, on what's going on with 900 and then also going on with, 19 point, all of that stuff. So. More to come on communications. Nothing on professional partnership subcommittee. We have not met in a very long time. I'm not sure if we ever will meet again.
The last one slipped by.
Oh my gosh, we didn't celebrate it.
I remember that. I think it was like a year after.
I
One minute to solve this.
Yeah.
It's still a group.
And then financial subcommittee report, per usual, we met last Friday to evaluate the full invoice package that we're going to discuss tonight. So the invoice, all the PCOs were reviewed by the financial subcommittee. We also do a full review of the contingency log, looking at anything that's kind of forecasted out as well, to make sure that we bring that to this committee just to provide full context of dollars being spent or potentially being spent. So always good for us to see that. Was there anything specific?
The only other thing that we talked about was, there's a bid out for the remaining elements for technology. There's 3 items that haven't been awarded yet. The bid is out on the street now. It will be opened on May 31st, and we're intending to have the June 5th meeting. It'll probably be a quick Zoom meeting so we can award those and get those ordered and everything. I spoke with Matt Ross, and the lead time on those looks to be about 4 weeks, so there's not really a concern in terms of timing. So we just don't wanna wait until mid-June to get those going. We wanna get the orders in.
And that could lead us to the June 5th.
That would be June 5th.
Right, so we can probably mention that we most likely will have a meeting.
Yeah.
On June 5th, again, as we've done previously, if that is the only agenda item, we would do that virtually as well, but in order to maintain timeline, we might pull everybody together.
And if the tennis court bid is spec and everything, then
I asked Lowell, but she's on vacation that day. If she has it, I'll present for one.
yeah, if it works, whatever. If we're
IT
meeting,
this time, yeah.
It's a small bid package by the number of bidders, so she may have it ready, but we do have to vet some of the bids.
Yeah.
I'll present that.
But that's more an FYI for everybody, just kind of let you know that that's most likely gonna happen based on what we're seeing for timing to the June 5th meeting. Okay, and last report, Al, anything for financial report?
No update.
All right, so let's move right on to new business. Can I have a motion to approve the following invoice package for Farmington High School as presented?
No.
All right, we'll open this up for discussion.
All right, first invoice is for Certification Studio. This is for their normal construction administration monthly fee, so this is in the amount of $42,000 for services rendered through April 30th. Any questions on that one? And then next, I'll let Nelson go over the KF for OMG.
So the payment application, the final review copy, this was completely gutted, at our professional frontage meeting. Last week, when we did some financial committee, it was adjusted down by 348,000, so the final amount is $3,952.77. And a large part of the billing, is the switchgear and the theatrical lighting, and there was also a payment reduction for one of the trades, to 2.5%. So, we recommend.
Next item on there is IMTL. This is for materials testing. It looks like just for one day on April 16th in the amount of $425. As always, OMG reviews these and recommends payment based on the reports received and the sign-in sheets to verify that the work was complete. So they have recommended this one for payment, as well as the next invoice, which is for IES. This is commissioning agent. ONG reviews this one, deems it fair and professional, fair for the professional services rendered to date. This is in the amount of $3,581.06. So the next one we have here is project manager. This is for Russ's professional services. This is for the beginning of April through May 2nd. And this is in the amount of $8,308.08. The next one on the list is for Arcadis. This is for their services for April. This is for move management, for the punch list where Chris is doing, as well as Jack, who's been helpful, and Emily on the financial side as well. So this is for $18,635. The next invoice, and we're going to probably see a little bit more of these come through now that FF&E is kind of moving a little faster. This is one of the vendors for FF&E that we recently awarded. This is just the first invoice against their PO. Their total amount is $235,339.45. This is their first invoice against this for $5,611.13. And then we'll get into the change orders. The first one, as Russ mentioned, is 104R, and this is for central office changes.
So this was kind of redesign of the admin area in the central office. We vetted this out probably since a long time, but we got it nailed down. The original started at 120,000, and after everything was said and done, we're at 60,818. This comes out of the central office building contract, not under the high school, separate.
Next one we have is PCO 118.
118, this is for coordination on in the auditorium for the glass rails that need to be installed, and it's coming out of the construction manager contingency for $6,445.
Next is PCO 119.
Building signage, so going through the process, boards determined they wanted to have nameplates on all the classrooms, so this is provides the ability to change the teacher's name and slide in at each room when the teacher changes, which is very frequent. And that was for 8,456. There's quite a few doors in the building, as you can see. Gosh.
Next is PCO 120.
This is another coordination issue on spiral stair landing for coming out of construction manager contingency of $5,345.
Next is PCO 122.
This is a coordination issue between the exterior aluminum doors and the hinges. The original hinges that were spec wouldn't work with the doors, and this is a material only includes a credit for these original hinges for $3,963 for system.
PCO 123.
This is a safety striping and sealer for the concrete floors, again coming out of construction manager contingency. The scoping for $59,813.
And then we have a change order for FF&E, change order number 1 for library range panels.
So this one was through the bidding process coordinating the end of the metal panels are gonna have a wood panel, like you would on the end of your cabinetry in the kitchen. It's gonna be a wood panel that'll match the rest of the cabinetry in the plywood.
And then I believe this is the last one, a PCO for technology change order number 1, Vintage King Audio. Let me take that.
2050.
Okay.
We handle that one directly.
So this one we awarded, to Vintage Audio King in the amount of $162,445.64. Matt Ross and his team had reviewed that and, had changed quantities. Some things had become end of life and obsolete, so that had to be replaced and changed like for like. So with the changing quantity, some spec changes, this is asking to add $15,755.97 to that award amount, which would bring it up to over $178,000. Due to savings that we realized when we did these items, this increase can be absorbed into the budget that we had because we received some bids that were under budget. So we have room in that budget to absorb this increase.
I think we just need to, just when we put it out, the cover sheet for what it's doing. Right,
Yeah, I did not include in the printout today, but
it's all the same information, there's nothing,
Yeah.
just,
Oh,
just when we complete the path, like when we do one.
Yeah.
All right, any questions on anything? No? All right, all in favor? Oh, sorry, go ahead. Oh, sorry, what, you good? Yeah. Okay, all in favor? Opposed? All right, motion passes. Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah, building development, yeah. All right, so with that, so our only other item left on the agenda is adjournment, but if we want to get an update on some good news, from a legislative perspective, Kat.
So just a quick update that Arcadis actually brought to our attention because they have been combing through, our process and preparing for the audit and everything. They realized that there were some issues with the way that we procured certain services. And some of this is related to the competition that we had, some is related to bringing people on board and then splitting it into 2 projects. And some is related to previous leadership at some of the state offices.
Right, and the guidance
that we were given. So those contracts would have been deemed ineligible for reimbursement. We worked with Arcadis, we worked with our legislators, and we were trying to find an administrative fix for probably 2.5 months. We did not find out that we needed a legislative fix until less than 7 days left in the session. So we were able to make all of those eligible, up to $1.8 million. So that kind of makes us whole for those services that we've acquired to date. So great news that we were able to get that done, get that in, and thank you to our legislators for making that happen.
If I can, just so everyone's aware,
Yeah.
I don't think Kat slept for about
I
4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
I know.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, but Kat, I gotta give her kudos. She was diligent with our senator and our representatives and getting it through our meetings. She was a little ragged towards the end, but she did a great job. I just want everyone to understand, it was about 5 days of pulling her hair out.
I was gonna say the same thing. Great minds think alike. No, I was just going to say that Kat really made this happen, and I just give her like so much credit for her diligence and just she never gives up, and she got all the language to them, and it was like weekends, nights, everything. So just want to say thank you.
Yeah. And although I think we come to expect great things from you, we don't often say.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so common. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a hair
What?
No, I think it was a great effort, and Arcadis brought it to our attention, and our legislators, got it through the finish line, so It was a team effort and great to identify this before it was, we were too far down the line, so, we're happy that we got it done.
I'm hoping this is the last of any kind of residual efforts we need to do.
Well, I mean, we have a good playbook for it now.
Yeah,
That's what we
exactly. Exactly. Anybody have any questions on that? Anything else? No? Any final comments? All right, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So we'll.
All in favor? You're at 6:28. Thank you, everyone.